If you want to raise high quality animals and a lot of meat using nothing but the sun and grass and rain, then you need to learn what is pasture and what makes up pasture. The end of May, Thunder Ridge Homestead, and we're going to take a look at the pasture. Now you hear a lot about pasture. Sometimes I guess they call them meadows or grazing fields or other things, but what exactly is pasture? We have sheep on our pasture as our primary grazing animal. We also graze turkeys and chickens on our pasture. Pasture is important because this is the forage that turns the sunshine into energy that the animals consume and turn into meat. And one pasture is not the same as another pasture. The first thing to know about pasture is plants. And the primary plant in a pasture is grass. Now, there are lots and lots of different kinds of grass. And the kind of grass that you grow on your pasture is going to make a difference depending on where you live, what kind of pasture you have. Your climate is very important. There are places in this world where you cannot even grow grass because it's too cold, or too dry, or too hot, or too rocky. So you need to know what grass will grow where you're at. I live in Missouri in the Midwest, and I'm north of the Mason-Dixon line. I live in an area that is called transitional grazing. That means that where I'm at, I can grow several different types of grass. The first type of grass that's grown in North America, probably the most prevalent type of grass, would be like this grass here. This is a ryegrass. And what it is it is a cool season grass. Cool season grasses produce best when the temperatures are cool. They produce in the spring and in the fall, and generally speaking go dormant during the hot part of the summer. A good example of a warm season grass would be crab crabgrass. And I know many of you fight crabgrass in your lawns, but what you realize about crabgrass is it grows best when it's hot and dry and sunny. Crabgrass actually germinates at 75 to 80 degrees, and that is when it starts growing the best. Crabgrass is an example of a warm season grass. There are also a lot of prairie grasses that are warm season grasses. So in addition to warm season grasses and cold season grasses, you also have plants like this one. And this is a yellow wood sorrel. As you can see, it is a flowering plant, and it is considered a forb. Here's another forb example. Dandelions. Dandelions are a forb. What a forb is a flowering plant that animals graze on that provides nutrition for the animals. Here's another forb. This is shepherd's purse. And then in this area we have chickweed. These are all examples of forbs. They are not grasses, but they still provide nutrition for the animals. You can see we have another forb here called clover. All clovers are also included in the group called forbs. But when you're talking pasture management, clovers, this is a white Dutch clover. Clovers are put in their own category. They are called legumes. A legume is a plant that has nodules on the roots that actually work with different bacteria, and the nodules work to fix nitrogen in the soil. So a legume like clover will actually improve your soil over the years. There are many kinds of legumes. The ones we're most commonly familiar with in human diet are beans and peas. And if you know anything about human diet, if you combine a bean or pea with, say for example, a corn or rice, which are grass seeds, the seeds of the legume and the seeds of the grass will combine together and provide a complete protein. Here is an example of a very nutritious forb called a dandelion. And dandelions are just absolutely full of nutrients and a very excellent pasture plant. Here is an example of a forb that is non-productive for pastures. This is a cocklebur plant, and this is what they look like in their first year. Cocklebur is a biennial. In the second year, it will produce this seed stalk. The leaves change shape and size, and it is a very invasive plant. In a pasture system, you want to take the 4 kinds of plants: cold season grasses, warm season grasses, forbs, and legumes, and you want them to be in a good balance. You want plenty of grass in the field. By having both cool season grasses and warm season grasses planted, that allows your pasture to produce more the year longer and do a better job for your animals of providing constant nutrition. You want to have a good mix of legumes in the field, whether it's clovers, lespedizes, but you want the legumes out there to help give them some balance. And then you want plenty of forbs so that they have a good nutritional mix as far as minerals and things of that sort. A pasture that was only grass, nothing else in it, would not provide the same nutrition as a pasture that has some dandelions and some clover. It's important to have a good blend. That is what makes a productive pasture. All of the parts, each part is important.